Hello, my name is Dusty Rose Hanson, and I am going to be showing you my final project assignment for my computer science education course 623. And the assignment is to search for ESL specific websites. And I had a very difficult time finding one particular website that would meet all of the requirements of this project. So what I'm going to do is combine two websites that I feel are excellent resources to help ESOL learners learn high school math. So I'm breaking it down into two websites, and the first website I would like to show you is called Khan's Academy. And Khan's Academy has a lot of great resources on their website for math because it shows the students how to learn the information, and it gives them a lot of visual aids and diagrams and graphs, and it shows them formulas and equations and all of those details that are necessary to understand the topic. So I really like Khan's Academy for the instructional purposes. And if we look at the assessment purposes to help the student understand where they are in terms of learning the content, Khan Academy website has limited use for that. So to go and just look at maybe systems of equations and inequalities and a website that they would video that they would have to show that how about how many bags of potato chips do people eat, and we'll see what type of video is available for this. Most of these videos are around 5 to
Everyone
10
in the
minutes.
kingdom is very impressed with your ability to help with the party planning. Everyone except for this gentleman right over here. This is Arbegla, and he is the king's top advisor and also chief party planner, and he seems somewhat threatened by your ability to solve these otherwise unsolvable problems, or at least from his point of view, because he keeps over-ordering or under-ordering things like cupcakes. And so he says, King, that cupcake problem was easy. Ask them about the potato chip issue, because we can never get the potato chips right. And so the king says, Arbegla, that's a good idea. We need to get the potato chips right. So he comes to you and says, how do we figure out on average how many potato chips we need to order? And to do that, we have to figure out how much on average does each man eat and how much each woman eats. And you say, well, what about the children? And you say, well, in our kingdom, the king says, in our kingdom, we forbid potato chips for children. You say, oh, well, that's all and good. Well, tell me what happened at the previous parties.
So I think that Khan's Academy is very good because it engages the learner. It gives them real life applications to try to solve, and then he breaks it down into very simple ways of how to go about solving them. So Khan's Academy is useful for showing the students how to solve problems. The second website that I found that I think is very useful is called ixl.com, and it does require a membership. You do need to create an account and sign into. They have a 30-day trial that you can sign up for, and that's what I did in order to explore all of the different options through the website. And I think that it is a very excellent website in terms of evaluating your students, and it also gives them a good variety of comprehensive dynamic content as it shows here. Um, it has a really good word problems, and if we go into the word problems and the variety of problems that it has, it shows how to solve the problem and break it down, and it also shows if the question was answered incorrectly, what were the mistakes that were made. So as of this point in time, I'm teaching high school math, and it breaks down grades, and it goes up through 8th grade, and then it has algebra and also geometry. And this is also aligned with the Common Core state standards. So you can create, your students in the class. Everyone would get a sign-in name, and you could set them to work on these types of problems. The state standards, it's aligned with the Oregon math standards, which are the Common Core state standards developed in 2010. And it shows all of the different state standards um, for wherever you're located and want to use. So I would be interested in that, most likely the algebra standards, and it has great ways of going about and giving the kids questions to practice. So, for example, if you highlight any one of these standards, it gives you an example. And if you click on any one of them, it should take you to some practice problems. Over here, it has a number of problems that were attempted, the amount of time that has elapsed, and then a SMART score out of 100 to let the student know how they're doing. So solving the system of equations by graphing, first graph the equations and then type the solution. So it's an interactive tool, and it helps the student um, come up with the solution. So I haven't tried a problem exactly like this, but for the first equation, the slope is -1. I'm sorry, the y-intercept is -1 and the slope is 7 over 5. So starting here, you would go up 7, which would be to the value of 6, and then you would go over 5, and that would be the first line. The second line has a y-intercept of -5, which is here, and it has a slope of 3 over 5. So if we go up 3, that's to -2, and we go to the right 5 here. So the solution to the system should be -5 for the x-coordinate and -8 for the y-coordinate. So we can submit our answer, and it says, that you graphed it correctly and all that stuff, and then it gives you another question. So this is a great interactive tool. It evaluates a lot of the skills of the students. So for my project, I would say that the two websites I would like to use are the Cons Academy and for this IXL. In terms of cons, it prepares the student and summarizes the topics, and it also has some basic practice questions. But I really like the IXL math because it has a variety of questions. They have really good word problems in there as well. It gives full explanations as to why you got the question correct or incorrect, and it's aligned with the CCSSs. So I think that a combination of these two websites are a great resource for ESOL students who need extra help and also need skill practice. Thank you for listening.